Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you're joining today, this is best practices for attending a handshake fair. We're really excited to participate in the fair at Holy Cross on November 2nd. And this is just some ways you can potentially get prepared, get started, and start thinking about how you can stand out to employers. So there are a couple different things to think about when it comes to the video meeting. First, we know that it can be a bit challenging in the virtual space and that surprises can pop up. No worries. I think I would say the best tip you can have is to ensure the recruiter has access to your phone number if something goes wrong and to have your phone right next to you. That will best ensure that if anything goes off with technology, you can still connect in that really fast 10-minute time frame that Handshake allows. I would say too, as you're approaching these video interviews, we want you to feel comfortable and we want you to really be able to be authentic and ask questions and be open. With that, I would say that professionalism and kind of being personable is really important as you connect with that employer for a first bit of time. The same as you would be for an interview. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to dress professionally if the fair encourages casual dress. It's more just about how you carry yourself in your communication and how you kind of come on time for your 10-minute session and come ready to communicate really clearly and effectively. I would say before any session in the morning or whenever you can, do a quick test run. I do this as well as a recruiter myself, just logging in, testing that video button, seeing that everything works. That way you can really try to avoid some of those technology issues that come up. As much as you can, choosing a quiet space where we can see you and where the sound is really focused on your voice. That allows us to really focus in and hear what you're trying to say about yourself and what you need to know about our program and our opportunity. I would say one of the best things you can do in preparing for any sort of application, any sort of interview process, even if it's more informal like a fair, is a compelling introduction about yourself. So this doesn't mean walking through your resume. This really means, who are you? What are your interests? What led you to the college or university you're at, or the different organizations you're a part of, or the major you're studying in? Make an impression that's natural. You don't have to really just walk through the experiences you've had that are professional on a resume. How would you summarize yourself, your passions, your interest, and what you're looking for your future opportunities? Another thing I would say, come prepared with some questions that you would like to ask to really determine if a role or an organization is a best fit for you. Maybe you're wondering a little bit about just where the position's located, or maybe you're a bit curious just about the skills that you would be leveraging in the roles that they offer, and if they align to the skills that you want to continue growing upon. So thinking about some questions that you could ask to really any employer that would be effective in knowing if it could be a match. And then, of course, while the 10 minutes goes quickly, it's really helpful to make sure, both from the employer end and your end, that there is just a quick minute where we can talk about how do we make sure that we can stay connected in the future about next steps or the timeline of the recruiting process and interview process, should you be interested in doing that. Now, with the one-on-one, I have definitely summarized a bit here already that could help you prepare. But really, the one-on-one sessions are a chance to connect for a more personalized session that's where you get specific information for what you're looking for. So if you're looking to connect with an employer and really see if it's a match for you more specifically, and you have some questions to ask, I think the one-on-one sessions are very impactful to really build that connection point and make sure you're able to ask any question you can think of that's really specific to you. You can really, ask key questions about the organization. I would ensure prior to the one-on-one that you look up the organization's website or what they posted on the fair, and make sure you have a little bit of an understanding of who they are and what they potentially might offer, so that your questions are relevant and that your time can be spent focusing on a match for you. The other thing that I would say really is important is knowing the scope of all the roles they have. Sometimes, particularly in the education and nonprofit space, there might be one role you're thinking they offer, but there might be a couple others that you didn't anticipate. So if you come prepared, asking a little bit more, I'm interested in this role, but are there other roles? I'm curious to know the scope of the entry-level talent that you offer for me. That way you can think through, maybe one is a perfect match, maybe one that you didn't even know they offered could be a best fit for your skills. And again, I stated this on the other slide, but just making sure you're aware of any requirements for the positions and next steps in the recruiting process so that you can stay connected to that recruiter and so that you know that you're able to proceed in that application. For group sessions, what I would say here is employers will often provide a 30-minute group session. For these sessions, they're a way you can ask questions and see an overarching picture of the organization. This might not be as much detail as you're picturing in that one-on-one where you can ask really specific about yourself, but more learning a little bit more about the organization's mission, how they do their work. How career progression happens at their organization so that you can get the larger level picture. And then from there, you could maybe ask some more specific questions. So I would say if you're more curious just about understanding an organization or a job opportunity and getting the bigger picture, attending a group session would be beneficial. And then from there, if you have really specific questions regarding your credentials or just anything about your skill set and how it could fit, maybe setting up a one-on-one following the group session so that you can ask there. Although typically I would say employers will give about a 15-minute presentation, give or take, and then they'll likely ensure there's at least 5 to 10 minutes somewhere in there for you to ask some questions too. As some tips, some of these align to some other things I mentioned in this presentation already, but I would say the best way you can stand out is really to have prior knowledge of the organization so that you come prepared with some baseline understanding of who they are and what they do, and really coming prepared with confidence in your skill set and what you're looking to do in any sort of role and figure out if it's a match. If you come to a one-on-one and clearly state, you know, my skills are in communicating, my skills are in presentations, my skills are in any sort of tutoring, immediately I think you could potentially be a great fit for a teacher. Or you might come prepared saying, I have really specific skills in data study, data management. Do you have any roles that align to database positions? If you come prepared with a knowledge base of your skill set and what you're looking to utilize, that helps the employer find a match for you. I would say with that as well, when you think of a workplace, what are you looking to grow into? That might not necessarily be a specific position yet. There's so much to explore, and that's okay. You don't have to know exactly what you're going to do in the next 5 years. Think about more specifically, what skills are you looking to hone in on in the next 3 to 5 years? And there might be a variety of roles that match honing in on those skills. So I think if you come to conversations with that mindset, employers can really help guide the conversation from there. We said this before, but it's a two-way street. As much as we're, looking to get to know you, you're also looking to get to know us. So just come being yourself and prepare to have a conversation. I think the one-on-one conversations that I have that are so effective are when students just tell me a little bit more about themselves and the past week they had, what they've been up to, so I can really start to picture who they are. One-on-ones that are not as effective are ones where potentially students come just expecting the employer to talk and that they don't provide as much insight as to who they are. So feel free to share. We want to know who you are and what you've been up to and how things are going. And then, of course, once the recruiter sends any sort of follow-up messaging or, any sort of next steps for you, following up with them if you're interested, letting them know if you apply, or, just making sure you communicate with them. They want to build that connection from there on out. So please stay connected to them. They'll be really excited to receive your message. So finally, I know on this video you can't click these links here, but these are some helpful links just about managing fairs, troubleshooting videos, participating in fairs. So some of your nerves are kind of just around getting set up from a technology standpoint. We'll make sure you have access to these links. We'll connect with the Holy Cross Career Services team so that you can have a PDF potentially of this slideshow and be able to click the links. But that is all I have for today. It's been so great being able to share a little bit more. We're excited to be at the fair with you and hope this was helpful. We'll certainly stay in touch, and thank you so much.